Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the hopeful elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indian Haitians, and the foreign Israelites that look like the other nations scattered across the four corners of the earth. First and foremost, we're going to face the east. Give all praises. Rawchaa Yahawah. Rawchaa Yahawashi. Rawchaa Yahawah. Rawchaa Yahawashi. Rawchaa Yahawah. Rawchaa Yahawashi. Gotta give all praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Bahasham. Want to give double honors to the elders and apostles. A great millstone led me to this truth, and been ordained by the Lord to teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, and fast to show forth the Lord's righteousness, and mercy, judgment, forgiveness, and wrath to all those who dwell a part of the elect, to the hopeful elect. Lord willing, we be part of that number. Lord willing, we be edifying to those who fear in the name of the Lord and are striving to show forth the Lord's righteousness every day to the best of their abilities. His judgment always comes to light. Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 5. And it's not slack. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 9. So usually on Saturdays, the plantation called me in early. I got to be there at 3. So I didn't have a lot of time, especially the things that was concerning yesterday that I was dealing with, to be able to come out here longer. But what I want to do, Lord willing, is to go and do kind of like a little bit more of the lesson tonight. But I'm going to do a little bit right now. I got to be over there pretty soon. So it's going to be a short part 2, but the part 3 is going to be a long part 3, Lord willing. And I wanted to go out because this weekend was Cinco de Mayo. You know, I wanted to go out to the city, but the other Akim, he had other affairs. You know, and you know, I'm not mad at him. At first I was like, man, damn. But you know, it's all the Lord. You know, the Lord's working on us all other way, so I can't be mad at him. You know. But I was hoping to go out there and try to, you know, we want to wake up Israel. We trying to wake up the elect, and some of the elect is out there still doing, is still out there in folly. That's why the end hasn't happened yet. So that's why we come out here and we do these things. You know, this is why we come out here. We come out here to get, you know, 100 million views. We're coming out here to get those 13 to 15 to 20 or whatever people the Lord bestowed on them to say, hey, listen to this. This is pertaining to what you're going through. And that's why we do these epistles, you know? So, I want to go back into that lesson that I did yesterday. I ain't got a lot of time, so I got to get going pretty soon. So, Salakia. It's going to be a short part 2. My part 3 is going to be long. Oh, man, what's going on? Okay. Yeah, I see why. Okay. Not a big deal. Yeah, that's on me. Yeah. Yeah, I was riding a lot last night because I had to try to get to the other side of town to, you know, handle my affairs. And after I got out of the plantation, you know, I was dealing with some trials yesterday. And Lord had me burning some calories, you hear me? almost destroy my work. You know. This is it. Yeah. Okay. Everything's fine. Perfect. Perfect. Everything's good. Okay. So 1 second, bear with me. I got to make sure I got everything. So yesterday, I bring up a little bit about the 6 seals, okay? The 6 seals. Now it's basically a part 1 to what I'm getting into. So now, because that was basically just a part 1 to get into what I'm finna go into, that the Lord put the Spirit on me to go into, to kind of show that Revelations chapter 6 was talking about, you know, what these 12 feathers did. So now we're going to get into 2nd Esdras chapter 11, and this is a breakdown from the GMS vault, you know, because I've been going through and really learning, you know, and I was listening to GMS the Truth for Orlando camp a while back. It was a while back, and I had one of the brothers, they said, what you learn, you need to go and you need to display it if the Lord puts a spirit on you to display it. And that's what I'm doing here today. So I wanted just to display a little bit of this 2nd Esdras chapter 11. I wanted to go into some things yesterday, just kind of deal with how Revelation chapter 6 explains this red horse. You know, and 2nd Esdras chapter 11 is a breakdown of that red horse, which is Esau Edom, who went and terrorized the world last time. And they did it this time with America Babylon the Great. But 2nd Esdras 11 literally shows you that the Bible is a history book. You know, the things that Esdras the Lord told, there ain't no way you can't say this book is not connected to prophecy. There's no way that you cannot say that, and I mean the whole Bible. But he was dealing with Esdras a lot. You know, he loved Esdras. So he gave him a lot of epistles. He gave him a lot of truth. So 2nd Esdras 11 were key prophecies that were written in the book of Daniel. Okay? And when you read about the 4th beast, that's the Roman Empire. So we're going to start with Daniel chapter 7, verse 7. And I ain't going to go in too far. We're just going to get it, you know, just get a touch in. And then when I get off the plantation, Lord willing, I can come here and put the big emphasis on what's going on. It's been a big trial for me, so I know my stuff look kind of all over the place. You know, we usually do camp a lot longer, but it's going to be cut out in some segments, but it's still going to all come across. Where was I? I was just on Daniel. There it is. Yeah, right past Ezekiel. Yeah. Right next to Hosea. So Daniel chapter 7, verse 7. And it reads, after this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly. And it had great iron teeth, which is what? The iron monarchy, the Roman Empire. It devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. These are those original EU nations. Okay? These are those original United Nations. Those are the original European nations. Okay? And America, Babylon the Great, they have taken on those customs. But this specific chapter, Yahawah was showing Esdras 400 years before even Caesar Augustus and Julius Caesar came on the scene. Yahawah was showing these men. He said he was showing Esdras. He said, look, this is going to happen to your people. Just like he told Amos, just like he told Abraham. That's why they had dreams and it was wrong. They was like, man, our people finna go do some stuff. And they was scared for our people. That's why even Yahawashi told, when he was on the scene and he was getting beat to a pulp by these damn Edomites, he said, don't mourn for me, mourn for what you finna go through. Because you finna go through this for a period of time before I come back and save you out of it. Lord willing, we part of that number. And that's what I want to really bring up. You know, the books of Esdras speak, but all the books speak. But Esdras, the Lord really gave him some prophecy. He gave him some detailed prophecies that Daniel was talking about in Babylon. You know, and it links up perfectly. There's no way around it. And people look at the Bible like history is not involved. But once we get into these 12 feathers, you're gonna see, hey, man, these prophecies were written for a foretime for our learning, so we can learn how to make it out of this place. So Daniel chapter 7 talks about the 10 horns, and I can go pull them up in my other book, but we don't want to get too deep. But you know, some of them they're all the European nations. But I might put them in a comment board later, Lord willing. I don't want to take too much time because I got to be to the plantation in a little bit. So I want to get to the point, you know, and I want to get back off the plantation and get back into it. So it talks about the 10 horns, which is the 10 United Nation kingdoms. Second Esdras chapter 11, it quantifies that the fourth beast, Daniel had visions, okay, of the fourth beast unto the earth, and it turned into potter's clay, okay? And that potter's clay was when they divided, you know, the barbarian nations, they divided, you know, because all these different kings and queens over there, they tried to unite that place, and it never would come to unite together as one. They would always divide, and it kind of shows you that history repeats itself, because now they're trying to make everybody come there under one religion, come under some altar of climate science, and to worship the image of the first beast. That's what talk about Revelations. This is that first beast. They came and did the same thing. You see? But there's a difference in both of them for you to see, like, man, the Lord's playing out prophecy. Okay? There was a specific time for them to do this. But like I said, it wasn't all the way expounded to Daniel. He just knew the overlay of it. But it was given unto Esdras it was expounded unto Esdras for prophecy. He got a breakdown of it, a serious breakdown of it by an angel. And we're going to go later in to who that angel was, but we ain't going to bring that up right now. The prophecies, you know, that he spoke about was during the Persian captivity, okay? Esdras. He spoke about these prophecies in 538 BC, 400 years before anybody in the Roman Empire took over the earth. Okay, and he got this, and then before that, Daniel got it in the Babylonian captivity. So it's very serious to know the times that we're in. We're almost out of time, and a lot of our people are not taking this as a deadly serious situation. So chapter 11, 2nd Esdras talks about ancient Rome and the 12 Caesars. The 12 Caesars are the 12 feathers. And as I go into these parts of this segments of these lessons that I received from Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, we're going to get in and we're going to learn who these 12 feathers were, what they did, how significant it is in this prophecy. So we can understand a better understanding of why America, Babylon the Great does what they do. So it talks about the main ones that ruled in ancient Rome. And like we said, America, Babylon the Great tries to reign and act like they do. Because when you look in Luke chapter 2, verse 1, it talks about how Caesar Augustus ruled longer than all of the rest of the feathers. He ruled for 40 plus years. And he's the one who initiated taxes. Salakia. My internet was talking about I did something. I used too much data. Whatever. I'll pay for it if I need to. So it's always doing that because I be watching because that's what we're supposed to do. So, and I don't have Wi-Fi. I have to pay for my data to be able to do this. So Salakia for the interruption. So the main ones that ruled in ancient Rome, America, Babylon the Great, tries to reign and act like they do. Exactly the same way. They got all their customs from looking at the history of these people. That's why you got these college kids, they come out and they dress up in Roman clothing. All that kind of stuff. Because they some fucking devils. So, but when you read it, it has nothing to do with America, Babylon the Great. This is to show you that how close they got to this place. This is how we to show you really in depth. This is the revived Roman Empire. Okay? So 2nd Esdras chapter 11 has nothing to do with America, Babylon the Great. It has to do with what happened when that red horse came out in Revelation chapter 6 and deceived and took over the whole world by force. So it's specifically talking about ancient Rome. When it says dreadful and terrible, okay, it works beyond the other nations. And these are literally the words, word from word, come from the GMS Dallas camp. And we know how long they've been out here. That's how serious I am about this. These are not my words. Okay, I'm willing to come out here and speak them for them because I know they right. Why? Because they got four spiritual fathers, and the four spiritual fathers after them who took on to them, you know? And the ones who are in the know. And the ones who don't, be patient. The ones who come across. Call on Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. He's going to show you. He's going to show you, but you got to be patient. So they also put a lot of hell on the children of Israel. And when you look up the word Joshua, I got a lesson that I did. It's called Yahawashi was written in, where Yahawashi was written in the Bible that I got from GMS in the Truth Orlando. Okay? And it shows that Joshua, when you put it in Paleo Hebrew, it says it means Yahawashi. Okay? You know, short-term sense. And the Israelites, what they had to do when they scattered into Africa in 70 AD during the rule of the 4 emperors. Okay, there was a period of emperors where it was 4 emperors, and they ruled for a short time, and during that time was the siege of Jerusalem, which was us. Okay, and that's why this place has to have it where women is eating their children, because that's what was happening to us. And it says what will be done unto us will be done unto them. Like, we went through this, we just don't remember. And that's why the Lord made it like he said the things in the past won't be remembered. Why? Because most of us couldn't handle it. We couldn't bear the sins that we have committed. And that shows you really the power of the blood of Yahawashi, man. He's got that blood. He's got that power that is just unimaginable, you know, and we need that, you know, over everything. So those were the Israelites who, you know, you know, the ones of us that came out into this captivity are from those spirits of our people who ran in that time and scattered into Africa, okay, and were not captured. But the ones captured were taken to be slaves. They were to fight in the Colosseums, all that kind of stuff. Those Romans did a lot of works to our people. They hurt our people. That's why this place must come to naught. That's why it's righteous. And people look at us like we're crazy. No, this is righteous. They deserve this. This is what they fucking get. So, and it's not just to Israel. This is but on the planet of the earth, of the known world around that time. The other 17 nations, they did it to them too. That's why they took it in their footsteps and become wicked, because they don't have the laws and statutes, commandments. So that's all they're going to do. They're going to go by what they see. So a lot of people had difficulties fighting against it. It talks about how they had all nations subject unto them. And just like it says, the Spirit of the Lord, his servants are subject to who? The prophets. We are subject unto great millstone. It don't matter if we in the body or not. We clinging to it and we showing them, hey, tell us what we need to do. We listening over here. You know? So all the nations that tried to rise up against them at that time failed miserably. They couldn't get to that point where it's like, man, we doing good. We got them. They couldn't get to that point. Hey, hey, yo, man. Look, Jake, just keep walking. He gonna salute me like I'm a fucking Edomite. And keep walking, man. Come on, man. I will stop the whole lesson just to try to warn them. They don't want to listen. The Lord used them as a major pivotal piece in this prophecy. So this had to happen for prophecy because we had to be punished. So he used these Edomites for our punishment, but after that, it's over for these motherfuckers. So iron is stronger than bronze. That's why they were able to take over Alexander the Greek, because they had all bronze weapons. You see what I'm saying? That's why they were able to take over them and form the Iron Monarchy. But they didn't take over Alexander the Greek until after he died, because there wasn't nobody really around strong enough to rule like him in that kingdom. So that's why they were taken over by the Iron Monarchy. See what I mean? And then the Iron Monarchy, after their rulers that were big, those feathers that we're going to talk about later on in my other parts, they're going to die off and they're going to become the knot. And then that's how they were taken over by the Persian captivity. Okay? And then you got Esdras in here, and not Salakia. They got taken over. Yeah, they did get taken over by the Persians. No? Yeah, they did. They got taken down by the Persians. But when you really look into it, you see that everything lines up. Everything lines up where Esdras was talking about this stuff before it happened. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So we're gonna get into it. I want to keep staying on track. So, like I said, there was a pitiful piece in prophecy. Iron is stronger than bronze, and like I said, they were given a great sword. So around this time, this is when Yahawashi came on the scene. Okay, as for his preaching, especially there's a lot of preaching that we don't know about. There's a lot of things that he did that we don't know. It said that he did so many miracles that the book cannot contain it. Okay? So this is when Rome was the obvious empire of that day. And this is you look up this word, it's called Pax Romana. Okay? And it's spelled P-A-X-R-M-O-N-A-N-A. Okay, this is a time span of the Roman history, which is identified as a period, as a golden age of increased as well sustained stability. Okay, they had basically like ultimate power of a regional expansion at that time. 27 BC to 180 BC, Caesar Augustus, founder of the Roman participant. 180 BC with the death of Marcus Aurelius, the last of the 5 good emperors. Then 183 BC, the place started to fall. But when you go look at the Apostle Tahar, he talks about how Halley's Comet had went across, and Halley's Comet has 7 tails on it, and talks about that means completion. And that went across Rome, and it started to fall at that time. And what's crazy is, I'm gonna go post it in my community board, Lord willing. They got some asteroids right now, or some stars, some comets that are crossing right now that are literally connected. So the spider on my speaker to the that was connected to the Halley's Comet that's crossing right now. It's crazy how the prophets, the real prophets of the Lord, will tell you things, and they will come at such a time where it can't be denied if you're in the spirit. You know, it's undeniable. You know, so around 183 BC, it started to fall. It goes back. You know, Slovakia got some brothers doing camp. You know, to those Romanites, they used to sit in the seat of the council for the Caesars. They had a council. You know, when you look at Maccabees, it talks about they had a council of 320 men, and they picked out those rulers. Just like now, people think that they vote and they think that it counts, but it doesn't. They got a council who picks those people. Same way like they do in Rome. So that's where you get the term inauguration. Okay? That's where you get that term. Inauguration, they choose who comes into rulership. It's all about witchcraft. That's how Rome was made. They forecast. That's why we got a weather forecast. Who would be next in the seat of power? They always try to prophesy things, but they're not the prophesies. That's Great Millstone. The men of Great Millstone, on down, who cling to the body like me. So the mythology behind it was Romulus and Remulus. They were brothers. They had a battle Okay? Lock in. Give me a moment. Let me get my notes. Because I want to make sure I don't miss on nothing on this. This is a deep saying. This is why you need teachers. You can't just go out and teach this stuff off the head sometimes. This stuff ain't no game. So the arbiters, they will watch the bird flights, and the bird landed on Romulus, which determined that he would be the rightful successor. So they did it off of because it said, you know, ask the beast and they shall tell thee. So they were going by the scriptures. You see, even in that time. So it's just to give you some more edification on that. You know, that's where that term comes from. And at around that time, the population was 70 million people. It was a prosperous time for them until the destruction. So I'm almost out of time. I wanted to at least do 30 minutes. But we're going to read 2nd Esdras, chapter 1, and then we're going to close out, and that'll just give a little bit of information, you know, a little bit of edification on what 2nd Esdras chapter 11 is talking about. And of course, I got on my community board where I got it from. You can go find it. It's on there. Okay? I'm just coming out here to do it again just to show, man, they got some powerful lessons. You know? Okay? This is not to be played around with. 2nd Esdras, chapter 11, verse 1, and it reads, the second book of the prophet Esdras, the son of Sarias, the son of Arazias, the son of Hekias, the son of Samadias, the son of Sadak, the son of Ichabod. So lucky if I say any of those wrong. You know? And actually, no, that's chapter 1. That's to show you the sons. So now we're going to go to 11. Lord put spirit on me to do that, I guess. So we're going to go to 11. Verse 1. So these are the sons that went down to Esdras. And this is 2nd Esdras chapter 11, verse 1. Then I saw a dream, and behold, there came up from the sea an eagle, which had 12 feathered wings and 3 heads. Okay? The eagle represents Rome. And what do we got on the dollar? There's an eagle on there. And it said our enemies will come as swift as eagles. Who's our enemy? Esau, Edom's so-called white man. Who's got 1,000 bases across the earth with eagles on them? The Edomites, the America, Babylon the Great. Okay? Which represents Mystery Babylon. You see? The eagle represents Rome. That's why they say this is the revived Rome Empire, because they had an eagle and we had eagles. You see, they even made their rulers off of a bird landing on their ass. Like, how could you not tie this together? You know? So we're going to do Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And then it's getting close. It's getting close. I got to close out. I'll mess around, be late to the plantation, and be getting cussed out like I did last time. I was an hour late last week doing camp, and I got cussed out. So I got, you know, Lord ain't letting up on me, okay? I got to pay for my punishment, whatever I did. Deuteronomy, and none of us do. He always on us, you know? Going to work is a very vital point of understanding why we should never disobey the Lord again. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68, and it reads, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. And they got a whole ship called Jesus Lombard. They got a ship, a slave ship that's literally got the name Jesus on it. So that's how we know that they ain't the Lord's name, period. And by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondswomen, and no man shall buy you. When you look up that word buy, it means redeem. No one's going to redeem us from the so-called white man. I'm on bond right now. You know? So I can talk about that. I got experience on that. So, you know, I got to close out. I wish I could stay longer. I got to get on this road. So let me give all praises. Face the east. Give all praises to Barak say Yahawah. What can say Yahawah? 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 You got to give all praises to Yahawah. Bahasham, Qadash. Want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Thank you for this truth that have been ordained by the Lord to teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, fast, and show forth the Lord's righteousness and mercy, judgment, forgiveness, and wrath to all those who are part of the elect and to the hopeful elect. Lord willing, we be part of that number. Lord willing, is be edifying to those who fear in the name of the Lord and are striving to show forth the Lord's righteousness every day to the best of their ability. Truth always comes to light. Zephaniah chapter 3 verse 5 and is not slack. 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 9. So as all the elders and apostles say and the brothers on down, above, stay tuned in. Thank the water for tuning in for all y'all tuned in. And Lord willing, I'll be able to come back and do another part 3 and we'll go more into depth. Shalom.